Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Jess the MD. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are jumping into watching another episode of Scrubs. We're watching My Super Ego Season 1, Episode 7. Let's jump right in.
Let's start off with a toughie. Who can tell
Over the
me-
last few weeks, the most amazing thing has happened. I've been nailing rounds. I think I'm actually starting to separate myself from the pack.
Sir, the answer is Beck's triad.
His answer of Beck's triad was actually talking about a cardiac tamponade. That is essentially when there's blood filling the heart sac, but outside of the heart, limiting the amount of space there actually is for the heart to pump and can lead to death very, very quickly. When he's talking about crushing rounds, that's usually when people are pimped during rounds. That, yes, that is what it's actually called. And basically the attendings ask you harder and harder questions until you don't know the answer anymore. JD has apparently been nailing rounds, which is awesome. It's a really great feeling to have when you're like, yeah, I actually studied, I know this, I know the answer, and I'm also not terrified to actually answer, because that confidence is another issue.
It keeps me on top of my game.
Looks like a break in the ulna right there.
Duh.
Good to be the king.
You know, it's okay to be impressed by me. Most girls are.
The only problem with reaching the top is that sooner or later, someone starts nipping at your heels. For me, that guy was Nick Murdoch.
Wow.
What the gurney adds drama.
I think there's just inherently sometimes competition among residents for positive attention, being the best, doing the best, helping the most, etc. Is it healthy? I don't know. I don't know if it's the most healthy, but I think in a lot of ways it's really helpful because it makes you want to study more and just be able to answer all the questions, because it feels really, really shitty to not know the answer to an attending's question.
So that's the guy who wants to take me down.
Of course you're gonna have a scar, Peter. I mean, you're not getting any surgery, but chicks dig scars, so I think I'm gonna give you one anyway.
Doctor, Peter's drug rash is getting a lot worse.
No problem. Just give him prednisone and Benadryl. I'll
Good bedside manner, good rapport with the nurses, sees me staring at
call
him.
for a dermatology consult.
Act busy.
Drug rash. So there are a lot of them. In fact, some can even progress to something like Stevens-Johnson syndrome, or even worse, TEN, toxic epidermal necrolysis. These are the body's reaction to these medications in a very dramatic way. It starts out with a flu-like illness and then progresses to a skin rash that starts blistering, and it can cover the entire surface of your body. So all skin mucosal surfaces can be affected, and it can be incredibly dangerous.
Hey man, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, okay. There that is.
Gosh, can you believe we're doctors? The other night, I'm at a restaurant, and this guy starts choking. They asked if anyone was a doctor. I didn't even move.
Yeah, I know. I still feel like I'm 7 years old playing MASH with my older brother.
Impostor syndrome is a real thing, and it takes a long time to get past that, if you even get past it at all, honestly. So there is a law called the Good Samaritan law. If you are out in public, you are covered under this law. Basically, if you've tried to help someone, some medical emergency is happening, and you've attempted to help them and it didn't go well, you are protected under the Good Samaritan law. That does not apply to on-duty healthcare providers, which are then covered by their malpractice insurance with their clinic, with their hospital, whatever that may be.
Wait, whatever happened to the guy in the restaurant?
Oh, eventually I remembered I was a doctor. Of course, he'd been dead for 20 minutes. Very embarrassing. Food was good, though.
Heart attack, choking, like what happened? Also, why didn't they call EMS?
You good, T-Dog? Come on, man. I can do this with my eyes closed.
Don't.
I won't, though.
Open the peritoneum. Nice, clean cut. Good. Good. Whoa. Whoa, what's that smell?
I don't know.
Did you nick the colon?
No? I mean, I don't know. I don't think so, did I?
Cut the music.
Did someone fart in the OR? Is that what happened? Because that probably happens more than people would like to admit.
How about Nick?
Oh, I'd let him drool on me. Oh, that's gross. Why did I say that? I shouldn't talk to people. Besides, I wouldn't know what to do even if I was interested.
Well, you could start by looking at him.
Does he look back? Does he like me? Why doesn't he like me? I can't believe I already blew it.
Oh, the anxious brain, such a real thing, and Elliot lives in anxious land.
Someone tell me what this patient's rash is. You have until I finish my squeezy juice.
Oh my god, I'm drawing, Oh my god, I can't even remember what you draw when your mind draws up something.
It's erythema migrans.
Then why don't you just answer it?
Everyone looks up to you. It's important to them that you don't get stopped. Besides, come on, it's important to you too.
Please, like he knows me. It's erythema migrans, sir.
Right you are, Dr. Dorian.
Nice.
Answer below if you know what erythema migrans is. So erythema migrans is a rash that is commonly associated with tick-borne diseases. It's most commonly an early sign of Lyme disease, and it literally looks like a target or like a bullseye. It is very cool if you've never seen it before, if you're someone that thinks that weird healthcare diseases are cool. I actually had a patient just a few weeks ago that ended up having the beginnings of erythema migrans. And it's interesting because we haven't really seen many tick-borne diseases like Lyme disease in the South, but they have been becoming more prevalent as of late. It's actually fairly easy to treat early Lyme disease. It's just a 10-day course of doxycycline and you are good to go. Let's see if there's any other info as to why this woman has erythema migrans. Are they gonna mention Lyme disease?
I don't know where that smell came from.
Sir?
What is it? Do you see something?
Sir, I farted. That smell is from the fart that I made.
Dude. Get the hell out of my OR.
Yes, sir. Good.
If I have any people that are surgeons or work in the OR, please tell me down below, does this happen very often? Because, yeah, that's pretty freaking embarrassing.
I know that you need to pick an intern to co-write that case report on postpartum hemolytic.
Yeah, sure. Congratulations. Now, go.
Mission accomplished.
Hey, buddy. How are you? Dr. Cox. I was wondering if I could co-write that case report with you.
Wow, this is good. Newbie. Too bad it can't be a fight to the death.
Oh, no. I didn't know you wanted to do it. You do it. You'll be great.
Okay.
Hey, you, cut it out. Nice guys aren't even that nice. Now, let me see. Just exactly who to choose. Who to choose.
Nice indeed. Okay, over.
Oh, interesting.
That was quite the visual. Talking about residents and the competition, it really does exist, especially in cases like this where there's one case study or one thing that everybody is competing for. It can get a little dicey.
Go with Guy Smiley here.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Huge moment for me.
I know.
Wish my dad was alive.
Doesn't mean anything. So what, you just like flip the coin in your head, or?
No. It's just that right now he's better at internal medicine than you are.
That definitely feels like a low blow. Here Cox is, increasing the competition between the residents. I think Dr. Cox's goal ultimately is to make everyone better, and maybe he's instilling just a little bit of healthy competition, but it can easily turn into a worse situation than just a little bit of healthy, friendly competition.
Dr. Wen threatened to sew my butt cheeks together.
And then you continue to eat chili.
Dude, I'm taking the cheese off.
You know, even though nothing happened today, it still kind of freaked me out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one flinch, one hiccup, and that's the difference between life and death. It's a lot to have on your shoulders, you know?
He is not wrong. It is a huge responsibility to take someone to the OR or just to have their health in your hands. Different decisions that you make with medications or different treatment options, it makes a big difference. And yeah, I think it's really important to have a healthy level of humbleness because that will ensure that you will do your absolute best to never do the wrong thing.
Dr. Turk, you can make the incision now.
Sir, my hand's tightening up. I must be low on potassium.
All right, I'll take over.
There was an episode we watched recently about Elliot having the yips about intubating people.
He has the yips? That's bad.
Here Turk is having the same issue. I think we all go through a situation like that where we're like, oh my God, I feel paralyzed to make a decision because this really is an important thing and it is a big responsibility, something that lies squarely in my hands, on my shoulders. And yeah, it can get scary.
Hey, how's Turk doing?
He's fine. Why?
Because he totally froze during surgery yesterday? Didn't he tell you?
It's hard to admit when you got scared. It's hard to admit when you didn't do something right or well enough.
Good afternoon, doctors. I've gathered you all here because, well, attendance at my noon conferences has been very disappointing. In fact, I've begun to wonder if maybe you have something more important to do.
Like eat lunch. So I will say that we also had noon conferences, especially while I was on my internal medicine rotations. And it was absolutely expected that A, you would show up to every noon conference, and B, bring your lunch because you are staying, watching, and listening to that whole talk. And a lot of the times, yeah, it's the full hour. You do not get time to yourself. And while it's very interesting, it is very helpful, it's very educational. At the same time, I really think it's also important to be able to decompress a little bit on your break, on your lunch. To be honest, you also don't necessarily always get a lunch. Sometimes we definitely rounded through lunch and ended up eating later. But long story short, your attendance as a resident at noon conference is absolutely expected.
Maybe you feel the need to sneak off and have a little nappy nap. I love nappy naps.
Me too. I love naps. When I didn't have noon conference and I had like 30 minutes to spare, usually instead of eating, I would legit go out to my car and nap. To be fair though, I had a small child at home that did not let me sleep, and then I worked crazy long hours, so I needed to get my sleep in somewhere. But yes, it was 30-minute naps in my car. I even ended up getting one of those neck pillows at some point. Pro tip, if you're a car napper, get one of those neck pillows. They are amazing.
Maybe you've forgotten that my conferences are mandatory. My hospital, my rules.
Most residencies require people to be at noon conference. It's not just Dr. Kelso.
I've never missed one. Just batting 1,000 over here.
Son, I'm more proud of you than I've ever been of an intern.
How you like me now, Nick?
No one likes a brown noser, and those were some brownie points that he just earned with Kelso, and he lost with his co-residents.
So you see, sir, the poor attendance is my fault, and my fault only.
Well then, you have just won the privilege of writing my next 10 lectures by this afternoon.
That's a lot.
Paging Dr. Martyr. I mean, what the hell was that guy?
Way to go, Nick.
Nick?
Way to go.
That was amazing.
Thinking. It's good to be the king.
Or it's lonely at the top.
Things change when you're not the star anymore.
What can I say? The lectures this kid wrote for me were fantastic.
The hospital starts to seem like a whole different place.
A healthy level of humbleness and second guessing and questioning yourself and making sure that you're doing the right thing and not being an asshole to other people. Yeah, very important and will make your life much easier, especially in a system like medicine that is extremely hierarchical, and in places like residency programs or teaching hospitals where those kind of hierarchical situations are really prominent. It is really easy to start being hated if you are acting like a total jackass.
Turk talked to Elliot about this and not me anyway. They're not even friends, you know what I mean?
After 25 minutes, the only way I could know what you mean more is if you wrote, "My boyfriend doesn't open up to me," on a big wooden mallet and repeatedly smashed me over the head with it.
Isn't Turk not opening up to her, not because he doesn't want to open up to her, but because he doesn't want to seem like he's weak in some way to her? I mean, I get it. I get Carla wanting to know more, but also you gotta understand human psychology, and especially as a nurse, I know she does.
You see, Dr. Dorian, your problem is you're a pansy. If you were in my way, I'd throw you off this ledge right now. We're out here alone. No one would ever know.
those lessons. Oh my gosh. Of course, he speaks metaphorically, but also fun to mess with JD.
Dr. Murdoch, Peter's developed a high-grade fever and a cough.
No problem. Just give him ceftazidime 1 gram IV.
How do you stay so positive?
I guess I don't let the bad stuff in, you know? Try not to get too overwhelmed.
What is going on with this kid? A drug rash or some sort of rash, whether it's a drug rash or not, they don't know, I guess, for sure. Or at least I don't have that information. Then the rash resolving, but then being nauseous and vomiting. And now he's become febrile, he's coughing. What is happening? Is this some sort of infection that they're missing? It's so hard to say.
So listen, I've scheduled an appendectomy for you later. Just make sure you're good on potassium.
Sir, I got so much potassium, it's coming out of my ass. You know what I mean? See, what I did was I took the word potassium and I dropped the first 3 letters, made a duty joke.
Funny stuff.
Some attendings are a lot more open to those kind of jokes than others, and clearly Turk's attending is questionable about it. And I must say that the attendings that were cooler about it were so much more fun to work with.
So yeah, a little stage fright. It's no big deal. Happened to me once.
Really?
I'll be more than glad to tell you what a lot of doctors do to relieve the stress. Take a little trip to Palmdale.
What?
Okay. Give yourself the old low 5.
I'm not getting it.
Physician, love thyself.
Are you talking about downtown Lester Brown?
Lowers the heart rate, releases the endorphins. It's basic physiology.
I think Turk knows that Cox is joking, but also he's like, is he joking?
Okay, you almost have me. You're not serious.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes.
No.
Nobody hurts Carla and gets away with it.
Who's Carla?
I was talking to myself. Don't eavesdrop.
Yep, he's fucking with Turk. Ouch.
Give me a hand with this Foley, Kathleen.
You got it. Whether or not Nick knew how petty and jealous and competitive I'd been, I still felt like I needed to step up, lay it out there, and apologize like a man.
We cool? Yeah.
Besides, even if I was the star for a little while, he's the man now.
This belongs to you. Oh, thanks a lot, man. Can you grab me some more tape? Oh, sure.
Once you line up behind a truly strong leader, everyone picks up their game.
We need to get the results of this urine sample.
We began to function like a well-oiled machine.
No gloves. Wait, JD should have been wearing gloves there. Okay.
Hey, Nick, I got the results back from the, Nick?
His blood cultures don't look good at all.
No problem.
Is this kid septic? From what? What caused it? I need more information. I highly doubt I'm gonna get it at this point.
I shouldn't have dragged you into it anyway. You don't even know Turk.
Actually, I met him today. We had a terrific chat. Oh, give the man a hand. That's just terrific work. You know darn well that felt good, and you're feeling better about yourself now, aren't you? Real nice guy.
Oh, good God, that is so embarrassing. Oh.
You know what? Even though I'm on call tonight, I'm not gonna let the bad stuff in anymore. I'm not gonna let myself get overwhelmed. What?
Well, it was just that Friday night when you had people over, you locked yourself in your room because we brought the wrong chips.
Look at me. That was the old Elliot.
Hey, can you help me find Dr. Murdoch? Peter's parents are here and he's not answering his page.
Sure. You know, Elliot's not gonna let herself be overwhelmed anymore.
Because it's that easy, just turning it off like you turn off a light. Just stop being anxious and overwhelmed. Laverne gets it. I bet you Nick is coming to a point where he's reached his max level of everything's okay and he's freaking out now. Because it's hard not to when shit is hitting the fan. Things are going wrong and your patient is not doing well and you don't know why. It evokes the imagery of that one dog with fire all around him and he's like, it's fine, everything's fine, I'm fine.
Carla? Wow. You look great.
You're not messing with me, right?
No, but I'd like to.
Ooh, Ew, Cox. You know she has a boyfriend, right? And yes, obviously he knows, but he's just being a dick.
Back when I was an intern, I remember the pressure being so insane that the only way I could get by was to race home. And even though my wife was already asleep, I'd gently wake her, look her in the eyes, and then I'd passive-aggressively torture her until she packed a bag and went to her mom's place for the week.
Oh.
Does that help?
Like a big hug with words.
Hey, the point is that just because a guy has problems expressing himself, that doesn't mean he doesn't need you.
Oh, wow. I feel like we just got a whole lot of information there. First of all, Cox also has no idea to express his feelings, but he's spot on. Just because you can't verbalize your feelings and say what you need does not mean that you don't need help. And that happens to a lot of people at random times, and sometimes you just need someone to be like,
I feel you. I know you need help. I'm here for you. And whenever you want to talk about it, if you ever want to talk about it, I'm here. I got you.
Hey, all right. That kid is eventually gonna die. Whether it's today, or tomorrow, or a month from now. There's nothing I can do. Nothing works. Now his parents want to talk to me. What am I supposed to tell them? Peter lived a good long 7 years? 7 years, man. It's not fair. I hate this place. I hate this job. I can't do it anymore. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
it is a lot to handle when you realize that you cannot help your patient. And oh man, especially in pediatrics when these kids have not really lived any kind of long life. It's heartbreaking and it's impossible, honestly, to compartmentalize and walk away from it, especially with children. You really feel it. I think I've talked about this before, but when you have someone who's older and has really lived a good life, like that one lady in the episode My Old Lady, she was ready to go. And I think that is beautiful. This is fucking terrible and so hard to come to terms with for the parents, for the kid, for the doctors, and all the other healthcare providers. It's just awful when it's a young kid. And sometimes you realize that this person that you have been thinking can handle everything and is good is really just putting on a front and showing everybody else that they're okay, when really inside they're still breaking.
The scariest thing was that I thought that he was stronger than all of us. But maybe it's not about being the best. Maybe it's about finding the little things that get you through the day. Whether it's the support of someone close to you, or letting yourself feel overwhelmed. If only for a moment.
I don't know. I'm a talkative person. I like to open up and just tell people my feelings. And I feel like part of it is being able to normalize that, yeah, we all feel deep, heavy feelings at one point or another in our lives. And not only is it normal, it is the human condition. And it helps to have someone else that knows that feeling and can help you through it. We could use a little bit more openness and sharing with each other, because I think everyone would realize that we all feel shitty sometimes, and we can all help each other to feel better too.
I don't know. I guess in the end, it's about surviving. Any way you can.
See you tomorrow.
You're stupid.
That's it?
That's it?
Give it time. It'll eat at you.
Am I stupid?
Yeah, a little bit.
Damn him.
It is hard, really hard in medicine to deal with death, especially in these kind of situations. But it sounds like he was a really talented doctor, and it sucks that he would leave because of this. I think having a bit more support and being able to lean on one another for support is a really good way to keep yourself from feeling like you need to leave. I will say the pressures of residency regardless are a lot, and some people just don't want to deal with it anymore, and I think that's okay. But at the same time, I think it's sad that Nick left because of this. Okay, that was kind of a heavy episode. At least I didn't cry this time. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, leave a comment down below. It really helps a girl out. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Jess the MD. I really enjoyed spending time with you. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I will see you in the very next one. Bye.